Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to do that. And clear current chat log. And where did I leave you guys at? At the court. Okay. So yeah, sorry for the delay. Like I said, I had something I had to go take care of at work real quick. So,
No biggie.
let's see. Anyone remember where we left off last week?
We were going to dinner, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, we left off
Yes.
with the realization that I need a new internet service provider.
That too. Yeah.
No.
I'm getting feedback from somebody. I'm hearing myself off of somebody. Is that Nate, maybe?
I don't know. He's muted right now.
Yeah, he's now. Oh, I'll. Yep, it's Nate.
I am here. Don't worry, I am here. It's just I'm coming through the speakers.
And
so
then
I'm trying to
looping
make
back
it-
through your mic. Yeah. Okay.
Echo, echo, echo.
Yeah. So, for the very short session that we had last week, Sarastra kind of said, "You're coming to dinner," and then walked out. And then the group, I believe, kind of gave a collective panicked look and went to dinner. And then we lost Nick, and then we kind of ended the session.
And all of the largest creatures piled into one room.
And we found 10,000 gold under a rock, if I remember rightly.
I don't.
Yeah, I remember that
but
too.
You guys must be having false memories.
Alternative facts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we could all have the same memory unless it happened
Shared hallucination.
across multiple tectonic plates.
Yes.
I've heard of chemtrails, right?
Yep. Yep. There was a thing back in the 60s or 70s about like shared hallucinations, and there was like a girls' college.
We're
or something
playing.
like that. Yeah, I don't
We're
remember.
playing D&D. Nothing need more be said.
But yeah, you guys were going to dinner, right?
I don't think we had a choice.
We hope we aren't dinner.
Well, I mean, you always have a choice.
I'm pretty sure she said you're coming for dinner, not coming to dinner. So
Actually, it was more like dinner will be at 7 o'clock or whatever time it was. I forgot now, but it's been 2 weeks since I said it.
Time is meaningless in the shadow realm, I thought.
Time is different in the Shadow Realm. It's not meaningless. Time works different. But, so, going to dinner. So, as you kind of, or as the group kind of enters into this banquet hall, and it's very much
How do we get there?
probably on foot. I mean, yeah,
Because, it's important for the route that we take,
on foot.
right? Looks like
You're-
there's
you're
lots
into-
of ways to get there.
There's actually only about one way to get there. So if you're down in 9, we figure you're going here.
Go through 4 and 14 down the hallway.
Wow, that jumped. Okay, hold on.
So did we, apparently. Because I'm imagining that's a pretty crazy high wall.
There you go. That's would have been about the route you took.
Okay, thanks.
Because that's the only route you could have taken.
I mean, you could have gone under the wall.
You could have, but
If we dig
the
long
north.
enough, we find the overworld.
So the overall.
Yeah, let's go
Court-
into the Shadowfell's Underdark.
Yeah, I mean we can. I can get that set up.
No.
Let's not say we did.
So we've kind of touched on it before, but like the northern palace and the southern palace are actually on like terraces above the lower courtyards, hence lower courtyards. That's why like the southern end, there's what is it? Point 13 is kind of like stairs going up. Point 4 is actually a ramp that goes up to 14.
What's this door here?
It's not a door. It's like a closet or a storage area. That door goes to the Shadow Underdark.
That's door 3.
Hell door.
That's actually door 68. Yeah.
Hodor.
How's Monty Python going to keep track? I mean, Monty Python. Monty Hall going to keep track of all that?
All right, are we?
No, I'm only ever going to be able to envision the shadow phase in French. That's what you've done to me now.
Okay,
Go
are we?
away, or we shall knock you a second time.
Are we done giving the DM flack? Come on.
Yeah, just
Never, I say.
This will turn into a very different session then. Okay, hold on, let me prepare. Okay. So going into this banquet hall, the queen would probably have, you'd probably have like one or because you're not very familiar, I'm sure Naren probably kind of knows her way around more or less, especially around the northern, the winter court, or the winter palace, the northern side. That you would still have essentially ushers or something like that kind of leading you through the place to get you where you need to go. Coming in, there's going to be this kind of long rectangular table. It's almost like if you took like a normal dining table and not just stretched it out, but just blew it out bigger. So it's this great big giant table. Like you'd actually probably have trouble reaching across. Like if you and the person opposite you were to try to like reach across and touch hands, you'd probably be able to just like scrape fingertips kind of thing. It's a pretty big table. Let's see. Looking around, it's clear this is more a banquet hall that she's going to use to entertain guests. There's a lot of ornate robes and such kind of hanging from the walls. Even the table, it doesn't look to be quite, or it's a very kind of grayish black. It's not ebony, but it's not wood. It's really hard to kind of tell what the material of this table actually is. It's certainly something solid. I mean, you can kind of almost see like a wood grain on it, but you've never seen anything. I don't imagine any of you have actually quite seen anything like this table.
Except for me.
Yeah, or whatever this material is. And
Table
like I said,
carved from solid onyx.
but it's strange because it has something akin to like a wood grain to it, so it's really off-putting. A lot of the things in this place, like I said, Naren's going to have a lot more insight. So if I say y'all haven't, you really never seen something like this, that applies to everyone except Naren. Like I said, looking around, you'll see various tapestries kind of hanging. A couple of different, not really like gigantic statues, like the Statue of David kind of giant, but you'll see like almost like busts here and there of different individuals. You can definitely, you recognize one as Queen Sarastra. A couple of other individuals you don't quite recognize. On the table itself, there's actually already kind of a spread of food. There's a few things you guys do kind of recognize. Okay, that's probably like the equivalent of a turkey, and there's probably something like a boar. There's also a couple of things you don't quite recognize. Like there'll be something that almost looks like a roast pig on a spit or something like that, or taken off a spit, I guess. But it's, you might remember like the guard, the main gate guard had kind of like that shadow that seemed to be wrapping underneath his armor and kind of running over his skin. That same kind of effect, or that shadowy look, seems to be going over this roast. The roast itself, even like, if this were out in like Zobek or somewhere out in the surface world, You would think this was like heavily burnt, but like you look at it and it's like you can see like somebody's kind of carving it, and you can see like it's definitely not burnt. You can see it's very juicy. It looks it smells delicious, but it looks off-putting. At the end of the table, Sarastra is going to be. She'll kind of stand from her chair and kind of motion to the table. As she does, the ushers and the individuals kind of escorting you up here are going to direct you to your various seats. Naren will be kind of directed to a seat next to, or at the very least, very near Sarastra. Otherwise, you guys are largely kind of allowed to sit, for the most part, wherever you want. The ushers will kind of direct you to a seat, but they're not forcing you to sit in that seat.
Ristal would take pretty much whatever seat he was directed to.
Okay.
7 would probably just, do the same, sit wherever. You can't
As
eat,
would
so
Tom.
this is just fun.
Okay.
So they have all these wonderfully prepared cooked dishes.
Yes.
Are there any things more the style of my people?
Is there
Any
sushi?
sushi?
If you were to ask for something a little bit less cooked, they'd certainly be able to prepare something for you. It wouldn't take them very long. Cut, plate,
Steak,
done.
steak tartare.
Mm. But yeah, they'd be able to certainly get or prepare something for you very quickly. On the spread, I'm sure there's definitely things that are cooked to lower degrees than other things. So I mean, there'd definitely be things that for you, I suppose you could kind of taste it. It tastes like if you have that steak that's overcooked, it's still kind of edible. It's technically food.
It's
Don't
more
have
leather
anything
than
like-
food.
Don't have anything like, Klingon and Grach. Still moving.
I'm not a Trekkie. I don't know.
Klingons basically eat their food still alive.
Oh, okay.
Like Asians eating live octopus.
I never understood that.
You heard it here first. Klingons are Asians, or Asians are Klingons. One or the other.
One or the other, yeah.
Which came first, the Asian or the Klingon?
Probably the Asians. I'm hazarding to guess, but yeah, they'd be able to definitely bring something out less cooked to a lower degree, like I said.
I would ask that and then thank them when they give it to me.
So, as you guys are kind of are all getting settled and food's being served, everything else, Sarastra's going to kind of look around. I'm told you were going to look into Layla for me. Svalka asked that you be allowed travel through the Shadow Realm to be able to get possibly closer to the Pale Wood.
Seven will nod again.
And she'll kind of look back and forth between Seven and Naren. We both know that it's very near one of the hearts of the Margrave. I can get you close. I can certainly get you near, but I can't get you directly to the heart. Margrave is not typically agreeable to somebody transporting directly inside their hearts.
I can't remember. What was the original plan? We were going to originally take the road north and come back down through Deadwood's Run.
Yes.
Well,
Okay,
let's
just
take
double
a
checking.
look.
I can't remember.
Let me take a look.
It was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Correct. Like 2 weeks ago. 2 or 3, something like that. Anyway. I believe you were planning to kind of come across Dead Druid's Run, hopefully skirt the Mist Wallows, and go down to the Palewood. If you look in your handout in general information, map of the
Yeah,
Margrave.
that was a general idea.
Okay. As I said, I can get you near. I can't get you directly there. There are individuals that do manage to live inside the heart that are especially protective of the area. I need not tell you, but Margrave is something of a living creature itself. Does not take kindly to invaders.
That it most certainly does not.
And Marin's just nodding her head while stuffing that mystery meat in her mouth.
Phrasing.
Sarah, give me a D20. Just a plain old D20. 15. Okay. So the flavor of this, it kind of, as you put it in, have you ever had like a prime rib? Something that's kind of more of a rare cook, but it's still really juicy. So as you kind of carve into as you kind of bite into this, it's gonna have that texture like a prime rib, but the flavor is, I don't know, it's something. It's hard to really put a finger on, but I mean, you can kind of detect hints of like almost like a roasted shiitake mushroom. There's very much there's a lot of different flavors kind of going on. Overall, I mean, it's actually really good. But like I said, it's almost like several different things kind of combined together, and you can kind of taste like the hints of like I say, using real world equivalents like a roasted shiitake mushroom. It definitely has the texture of like a really well done prime rib. It's as you bite it, it kind of hits your salivary glands as well. So it's almost a little tough to like. It really just kind of makes your mouth water, even just biting into it.
No, she's not biting it. Imagine like a toddler, both hands shoving it in her mouth. Like both her hands are covered in
Au
like,
jus.
yeah. She does not eat like a civilized creature.
Right. No, I'm not saying how she ate, but still.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just telling everyone that.
She's eating medieval banquet style.
Exactly.
Right.
'Cause so far, the party's only seen me eat like nuts and berries and stuff, not meat.
And you're
Yeah, I
not
was
like trying to
questioning
hide
it.
that, right?
No, she
Okay. Just checking.
she's picky.
So,
Admittedly, I was under the impression that Naren was vegetarian.
like, as you kind of do this, like, you'll get like 2, 3, 4 bites, and Sarastra will just kind of like, she'll look over to Naren and almost give like that cold glare, and just give this little quick flick with her hands, and her as she's holding the silverware. Clearly, she's more or less like that. Hey, dummy, no, we use forks and knives here at the table.
Oh, insight.
Oh, yeah, no, she's not trying to be hiding about it at all.
Naren will just stare at her with like her cheeks puffed full of the meat and just like casually, or not casually, but like sheepishly wipe her hands and attempt to use the silverware.
That is kind of adorable. That mental image of just. Okay.
Oops.
Fine, alright.
I'm basically picturing an elf-faced Poe from Kung Fu Panda. I'm picturing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Mako's not eating, but he looks like he really wants to. Because he was told before we came in here that don't eat anything here. And he managed to remember that.
Impressive. His memory's getting better.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, this isn't the real life underworld. Like, you can't eat the or like the hell food, or else you're stuck in hell. It's not that kind of thing. Who told
Yeah,
him
but
that?
there's all
Anyway?
kinds of myths about the Fae. Like, don't take any gifts that are offered to you. Don't eat anything. Don't drink anything, because it's gonna fuck you somehow.
So that's how Ristel thinks?
No, Ristol is eating. In fact, when
Oh,
like
okay.
Sarastra gave Naren that look and that gesture, like Ristol kind of slowly put his helping him meat down and kind of just slowly reached for his fork.
It's like, ooh.
You're an
Like,
actual elf.
Yeah, but his people are like 2 steps removed from barbarism, and
Yeah.
and like the Kareev aren't that much more delicate eaters.
Yeah, Windrunner elves, while they use the stats of wood elves, they are very much nomadic plains people. To use like, I guess like a modern equivalent, or like the old Pocahontas movie, they're like 1 step removed from savages. They're very plains and plain people.
Yeah, if the Khanate weren't already a thing, like Windrunner elves would be Mongols.
Uncivilized. That's the word I was looking for.
I'm wondering
yeah.
how Mongo is feeling watching 2 of his comrades just stuffing their faces.
Very hungry.
Yeah, so if Mongo is not eating at all, like refusing to kind of thing, is anybody else doing that as well?
I was trying to see if I noticed Mongo not eating. See if he could work out why. Seven's not eating, but that's not by choice.
Right.
He really wants to.
Yeah, and they really wouldn't take too much notice of like Seven. Like, oh yeah, he's a middleman. And I'm sure for like Seven, they'd bring out like, I don't know, whatever the equivalent is, like a can of oil. Or, I don't know. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, sorry.
Now I'm picturing myself as the Tin Man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. They bring out
Thinking
whatever
that
the
it would
equivalent
be
is.
a breach of etiquette to do maintenance at the dinner table.
Well, I mean,
Seven already did some, but
yeah.
he's in relatively good condition. Those plates held out.
7, get your elbow plates off the table. How many times do I have to tell you?
You're not my real mom. Who knows who my real mom is?
So-
I don't.
Let's see. Brahm's got his plate of raw shadow meat. Naren
stuff.
and Ristel are chowing down. What about Rockmon?
Rockmon's kind of doing the eating like a bird, just like sort of picking at the food, but not really eating a whole lot.
Okay.
Takata stabbing the meat with his face.
So Rockmon's not eating a whole lot, and Mongo is like just abstaining from eating, but still is visibly hungry.
Yes.
Okay. Eventually, kind of Sarastra, after correcting Naren and noticing Bristol. My nose itches. She kind of look over to Mongo. Young one, I assure you it is safe to eat.
Do not want to create um, 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 obligation.
Yes. That's the right word.
The tales of the Fae, of the Shadow Fae, are greatly exaggerated, I assure you. Please. No harm will come
Out
to
of
you
out
from
of
eating
character,
this
she
food.
hasn't mentioned that the food is freely given without obligation. There's no statement to that effect.
Well, she just said, like, yeah, the stories about the Shadow Fae are way
Yes,
out of reach.
that does. I understand.
Okay.
But Mongo doesn't know those tales. He's just following the instructions of his friends.
No
Maybe
harm.
the boss should tell him to eat.
Yeah, that's what the insight was for.
Mm.
See if someone could work it out. 'Cause it's not even dawning on Seven that Mongo's not eating. 'Cause he doesn't eat it. He never thinks about it.
Who gave Mongo those instructions? Like, did we get a warning about accepting things from the Fae in character, or was that just something?
I think that was
out of
There,
character?
there was a lot of
inside party,
discussion
yeah.
as we came in, and I thought that somebody had declared, be careful, don't accept anything, don't agree to anything,
I feel
don't
like
eat any of the food or drink. And
Yeah, I think that was an
somebody
inter-party
said
thing. Yeah.
honestly sounds like something Bristol would say.
Yeah, it just sounds like a Ristal thing.
Ristal's experience with the Fae is very limited.
And very different.
But it might have been
Most-
out of character.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mistral's experience with the Fae is being on the plate rather than behind it.
pretty much.
Essentially.
I mean, Saraswa, she'd also kind of further tried to console you. Like, no harm will come to you from eating this food. An upset stomach, perhaps, should you overindulge, but that is all.
So Rockmon will go ahead and eat. So still, he doesn't eat like gobble down food or whatever. But he'll go ahead and eat the food.
I just imagine that this shadow boar it was like Naren's favorite food when she was in the shadow. Boar. She was just like going ham.
But
Yeah.
Waka, waka, waka.
Mm.
and Sarah just realized what she said. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it when I was saying.
You going ham? Yeah.
Too late now.
Yep.
Said it.
So, is anybody going to look any closer what this food is, or are you just gonna say, yeah, I probably don't want to know?
Seven wouldn't.
Well, yeah, because you're not eating it.
So Rockmon would be curious what it is for sure.
Give me a nature check.
Yeah, I don't have my character sheet up. Hang on, sorry.
Remember Bolthador?
Oh, he's still out in the world somewhere.
Somewhere.
You say bolt the door?
Balthador. Hey, he's the one that
Bulbasaur.
was before your time.
Like hold the door, but bolt the door?
Odador.
He had horrible like accents and enunciations over his letters in the name. Yeah, like that. So
He still
we
does
have
that.
a series of like bolt the door, Balthador. It's
Bulbasaur.
yeah, Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur is the best one.
He had a horrible name, and it drove me nuts. Thankfully, he was well. I don't want to say thankfully, but he was only around for a couple of sessions. So
There was some inter-party conflict because he was a warlock and we had a paladin in the party, so there was some stress there.
it was interesting.
That was a session.
It was interesting. I'll give it that. Let me find it here.
Don't. What his full name?
No. So Rockman's gonna kind of like looking at this. He's trying to kind of figure out what the heck this is, and he's gonna recall Tales. I don't think you've been to the Shadow Realm before, right?
I don't think so.
All right.
Not to his memory.
I'm looking for it. Hold on, where'd it go?
Every night in his dreams.
Where'd it go? Oh. That's not it. Oh, there it is. So, looking at this thing, looking at, like, so you're kind of looking at around, and you're going to look at this roast that kind of, like, Naren is, like, just attacking and devouring this thing. And you're kind of looking at it, and it's a lot bigger than. You're kind of looking at the shape, and you can kind of like, okay, if there was legs, it would probably be here, the head would be here, and you're kind of looking at it, and it looks a lot. A creature kind of comes to mind. It looks way bigger than the creature than what you've experienced in your past, but this looks to be a buka. Normally, it's kind of like this little tiny fey creature. They usually kind of have this obsidian skin, bat or wings that almost look like a bat, and they always look kind of hungry. But they have like these razor sharp fangs and leathery faces and purple tongues. Yeah. In fact, here, I'll do this. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find one. Let me see if I can find an image for it. I'm looking. No. Where's it at? Oh, fuck it. We'll just do this. I will just do this and snip. There you go.
That thing looks like one of the friends of Quasimodo from Disney. Looks like one of the gargoyles.
A little bit, yeah.
The fat one.
Like I said, this is also going to be like what Rockman remembers. These are tiny creatures, like tiny sized creatures. But what you're seeing on the table looks to be probably 3 to 4 feet in length. So probably closer to like a small. So it's like a size category up from what you remember.
Doesn't look like something Rockmon would normally eat, but he'll you know, when you're
When you're
with the
hungry.
Romans.
Well, like I said, that's kind of like the roast that like Naren seems to be digging into. Looking around, like I said, you'll see other things that are more recognizable. Something that looks much more like a typical boar. Plus, there's like the standard accoutrement of various veggies and side dishes as well. The 3-bean casserole in the Shadow Realm is amazing.
Rockmon's probably focusing more on the side dishes and the other things than than the main course.
But yeah, kind of as you look around, you start to realize like there's a lot more meat-based dishes here than there are like veggie side dishes. Like I don't know if you were to give like a ratio, like the stereotype is like, oh well, you have like 2 veggie dish side, or you'll have like 2 side dishes and a meat dish, or your meat entree. Well, here it seems to be kind of the opposite. There's a lot of meat and very little side dishes. It's almost 2 to 1 meat to the side. But yeah, there's still enough that you can very easily get meals for everybody at the table just based on the side dishes. But yeah, so as I said,
Do you recognize the quote I put in there?
rather. Oh yeah. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the live action whatever it was that they did on Fox. And I tried to. I couldn't really get into it.
I suffered through it.
It feels like this last year has been a lot of let's make what's old new again. And it's but Sarasha again, so after correcting Naren and kind of looking around the group and trying to console Mongo, or to comfort Mongo a little bit, let him know it's okay to eat. If you're going after Layla, finally, thank you. I'll get you as close as I can. The same deal still stands. Should you bring her back and deal with her captives? Will very well be a knighthood.
Her captor.
Well, I can't imagine she would have stayed away of her own accord.
Do you have any idea who would risk this sort of offense?
There are... The Shadow Fae are not omnipotent and omnipowerful as some of the tales would have you fear.
Omnipotent means omnipowerful.
No, it doesn't. Omnipotent is all-seeing or all-knowing. Omnipowerful would be... can influence everything.
Omniscient.
Close enough. Shut up. -1 level. Mongo is now level 3. Congratulations. No.
Oh no, Mongo shit himself at dinner.
As I said, one good deed would indeed deserve another. Indeed. we might not be omniscient, but we do have eyes in several places. I know of your travels, of your journeys. I'll get you as close as I can. I'm gonna pull the map up here so I can take a look at where I was gonna send you.
If I may,
Hmm.
does your route take us anywhere through or near Baba Yaga's lands?
You just got to think about that.
Baba Yaga is fucking terrifying. Yeah. Real life,
Yeah,
I think
but-
she's Russian mythology, I think. I forget
Yeah.
offhand. but-
Yes.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah, Eastern Europe, Eurasian kind of place.
Russian.
Yeah, that's what I thought, specifically Russian.
Slavic.
Essentially, it kind of translates to, like, the boogeyman is Baba Yaga. So, yeah, in real life, she is a monster of, like, classic tales. Like, if you were to go back, like, if you've ever gone back and, like, read the Brothers Grimm's, like, stories, like, the actual stories, they're gruesome. And kind of terrifying. Like, if you read, like, the undertales, or the underpinnings of, like, the stories, it's kind of creepy.
She's like the cross between the boogeyman and an Uber Fae.
Yeah. She's not a shadow fae. She is fae. And she is to fae what, like, archdevils are to regular devils. She is, like, one step away from deity level. Yeah, she's not one to be fucked with. But, so you're asking Sarastra of this thing.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, she is known to travel the Central Heart. I've heard she's even not convinced, but held sway over the heart itself from time to time. But I have no control over where she goes or when she moves.
I think what he was asking was where you place us. Will it be near Baba Yaga's Wind?
Baba's Wind.
Baba's Wind, yeah.
Oh no, Baba's Wind is too close to the heart for me to be able to land there. We'd probably more likely be just east of, let's see. You were hoping to go through Druid's Run, I believe.
7 knots.
I should be able to get nearby there. Just east, perhaps.
That would be favorable enough.
I will advise you, should you, once you get to the Pale Wood, recently we've heard you should look for the Queen's Glade.
History check?
For Queen's Glade?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
History, where did I put that? There it is.
That was Glade with a D, not Glaive with a
But
V.
just-
Yes.
Isn't that-
Glade.
This whole area is supposed to be, you know, like Seven's home ground.
Right, but there's still some places, like, it's almost one of those, like, oh yeah, go down to where that tree used to be kind of thing.
And even then, I might not necessarily know the name of it.
Yeah, he might not know the name of that specific area. It's almost one of those regional dialects kind of thing.
I
So
probably
at
walked
11.
through it once or twice and not realised what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Just carried on walking.
So, Chevin, you're gonna... So, Queen's Glade. You have a deep and intimate knowledge of Queen's Glade.
Oh joy.
You know exactly what Queen's Glade is.
Whee!
Death trap.
And I don't think I need to tell you what you know that Queen's Glade
Yeah.
is.
7. Nathan knows exactly what that is.
Yes. So, for everyone else, Queen's Glade. Queen's Glade is essentially like the site of this giant beehive. And I don't mean like giant. Well, I guess I do mean giant as in the size, but also as in the inhabitants.
Oh, the honey.
Queen is in Queen Bee.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I see a small part of me was hoping it would be somewhere else. Just a little bit of me. It's like, nah, maybe Travis will put it elsewhere. It'll be okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.
But again, so like I said, we've heard reports of sightings of Layla near Queen's Glade.
Someone will just sort of slump in his seat a bit.
Just west of the Palewood.
So Rockmont will speak up and just say, we did some research to try to learn a little bit more about the giant bees in that area. Could you give us any information or advice on how to deal with those?
How to deal with the creatures?
Yes, perhaps how to avoid them or...
Someone will make that noise in character.
It's gears grinding.
More of a hum.
My advice, don't be spotted.
I'll go not spotted. Oh, got fur.
And she'll kind of look over to Mongo with that almost exasperated. Indeed.
You invited him to the table.
Don't be seen. And remember,
Thank you.
creatures in the heart, the central heart, are more wild. I've heard reports your party has gone through Shadow Crag. It is unfortunate that that region has been affected by its connection with my realm. Central Heart has no such taint. It is wild and dangerous. The forest itself could eat you alive if you're not careful.
Speaking of Shadow Crag, you wouldn't happen to know if any other Fae have servants there?
Oh shit, it's still on my hip. Fire.
What was her name? I don't remember what the witch's name was specifically.
Baba Yaga. Okay.
No, not Baba Yaga.
Good.
No, the Queen of Witches had a name, a proper name. Nick Nevin, that's what it was. The Shadow Realm has had dealings with that region before. Why? Did you come across something?
7 will slump a little bit more under the table.
A self-proclaimed servant of the Queen of Witches. He called himself Belloc the Undying.
Belloc lives?
Not anymore.
Slumps down a bit more to hide the bag under the table.
He attacked us, and we defended ourselves. Now he's just Belloc the Dead.
Belloc the head.
Belloc ahead.
All right, that's the game. Bye.
No.
Logging off for the night. Yeah.
Tip your waitress.
Don't forget to try the fish.
By the way, Naren was saying that in character, like in actually saying that.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
7
Oh.
was not. 7 is trying to hide the bag of head.
Are you like trying to like stealth out, or are you just like?
No, 7 had already started to slump the second he realised, oh no, he is
Okay.
actually going to have to raid his home, and then this conversation, so he just kept sliding, basically. So I imagine at this point, all that's really above the table is his head, and maybe his shoulders,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is
Bristol-
what to do with the tail.
Bristol's bravely attempted to keep a straight face after Naren's comment.
Fine, get a metal face, and you don't have to worry.
We had dealings with Belloc
Batman.
decades ago. I haven't heard from him in nearly a century. Are you sure it was him?
That's who he claimed to be. He was undead.
It was
Hence
definitely him.
his moniker.
When I last had dealings with him, he was a fairly powerful druid of all things, and she'll kind of look over to 7.
Mm. What is her reaction to him being basically under the table at this point?
So, or like looking at her, straight faced, still kind of stoic.
Okay, cool.
We had dealings with him. My court had dealings with him nearly a century ago. After the uprising, we lost contact. If Nick Nevin had formed a bond with him, that would be greatly interesting to me. How did you dispose of his body?
Where once there was one body, now there are many, many pieces.
Stefan will sheepishly sort of sit upright again and sort of put the bag on the table.
As for Belloc's druidry, he did control a number of plant-like creatures, but they were twisted, dying things. There were also zombies. If he was a druid, if this was Belloc, something turned him to other paths. Perhaps this Queen Nick Nevin.
And you said you set the head up on the table, Nate?
Yeah, like gently, not thudding it, but like gently sort of place it
Mhm.
on the table. Probably on the plate that's in front of him so he doesn't stay in the cloth, just in case.
She'll kind of make like a motion, and a couple of ushers will bring the head over, and they'll kind of open up the bag a little bit, and she'll look in. Did you find anything
And the
else?
face hugger comes out.
Did you find anything else there? Any other items of power?
We found Staka.
Big Red.
And sword, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Now it's Brom's turn to shrink in his sleep.
I'll take the sword out, put it on the table.
And whip your sword out onto the table. Got it.
Yeah.
And Mongo puts Big Red on the table.
And she'll kind of look around at the different weapons. You've found quite the armory, it seems. Nothing draconic, nothing soul-oriented.
There was a cave dragon down there. And there was the door marked with a dragon. There's also a statue of a dragon.
You still got that orb?
I do have that orb. Not magical, but pull that out too.
Yeah.
So you're whipping your sword and your ball out onto the table.
Yeah, just the one.
Just the
That is... No phylactery. Okay.
Did GM say what?
What?
I don't know how to react to that one.
Well, hopefully he didn't finish that ritual then.
Say what?
I think we're gonna have to go back there and check that out sometime, just to make sure.
When we got
Bastard twice.
when we got another half dozen levels.
Twice. Travis.
What?
Wasn't there a dragon statue with draconic on it?
There's a
That's
dragon
the door.
statue that you found further in that you guys kind of camped nearby in the little mini library.
The one door that we didn't go through.
There was
No,
also
no.
there was two spots you guys there was a dragon relief kind of carved into the door in the very beginning that you guys said, nope, fuck that. We already had enough problems here in the room. And then there was further on, after you saw the cave dragon, that you camped kind of in a library and bolted the door. There was
the
actually a
dusty-
dragon statue.
Yeah, didn't it have draconic on it?
It did. And
What was the statue where the shadow was behind?
That was-
the draconic one.
Right, that was the draconic engraving. That was the library dragon statue. That I think Ristal was able to translate, but
No.
No, it was
or not Ristal, Rockmon, because Rockmon was able to speak draconic.
I'm trying to find my notes. I'm scrambling through all my notes trying to find what it said.
Let me look. I
There's
might stop
something
it.
about
Was it let the sorcerer's power illuminate
Yes.
my spirit?
yes.
Something like that. Let me look.
No, a shadow attacked us rather ironically.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's down in the party notes.
So perhaps that statue was Belek's phylactery.
Don't say that.
Oh.
God damn it!
I set stuff up way in advance. Okay. But yeah, so she's gonna kind of look about. She's gonna look at the head and kind of give that little bit of information.
Could I have that back, please?
And she'll kind of like almost give that cold stare. Very well. And she'll give like a hand wave, and the ushers will bring it back over to you.
Yay. I have plans for that shit. Aside from having knowingly killed him once, possibly killed him twice. When I had the skull from the first time, I could make some badass shoulder plates or something.
Let us enjoy. Enough talk of adventure. Let us enjoy our meal.
By all means.
So with that, Sarah just got up for the bathroom. So let's take kind of a quick break. Say, let's see, it's 21. We'll go to 35.
40? What's that idea?
40. 40 is a little long, but I mean we can.
I mean, all I'm going to do is get up and move over to the bed. I'm not going anywhere.
So we'll come back at 35. How's that sound?
Cool.
All right. All right, and we're back. There you go. So yeah, she's Queen Sarastra just kind of dropped a couple bombshells on you that it sounds like a couple of you picked up on, a couple of the players picked up on.
I don't know what that is.
Schadenfreude.
Flag it. Can't. That is beyond his knowledge of magic.
I don't know. How much would 7 have gone to the Western Margrave? I mean, so if you guys pull up your maps of the old Margrave, and let me do this for everyone at home. I'll pull up Western Margrave map. So the Margrave, I kind of mentioned it to you a little bit, to everybody a little bit before, but the Margrave is really kind of divided into thirds. You have your Western, your Central, and your Eastern. Each region also has its own heart, and everybody kind of we joked about it way back, months back, of, oh yeah, it's the heart, like the heart of the cards. Yeah.
It won't kill you if you believe in it.
Yeah. You can go with that.
That's how 7's fun. Just
So,
you know,
meta knowledge kind of thing. And I'd imagine 7 might not necessarily know like the full details and everything of all of it, but he'd know like this, that, and the other. Naren, the same thing. And just like, I'd imagine probably Rockmon to a point from researching Margrave. But, so the Western Margrave, because Shadowcrag is in almost smack in the middle of Western Margrave, House Strauss had heavy ties with the Shadow Court in years past, in decades and centuries past. When Zobek had their liberation, their uprising, they overthrew the Strauss Castle. That didn't break the ties with the Shadow Realm. So the Strauss Castle and the Strauss grounds still have those ties. Everybody figured the entire Strauss family's gone, so the ties from the Shadow Realm have kind of bled into the Western Margrave. So that's why if you go into the Western Margrave, there's a lot more undead. There's a lot more darkness. If you were to cut up piece 1 and 1 together, you would probably figure, okay, well, undead plus forest, plant zombie goblins. Hence those. The Central Heart is more... So Western is also the oldest part of the Margrave. If you get into the Central Margrave, that's more like middle-aged Margrave. It's adult Margrave. It's still fully nature. It hasn't really been tainted by the Shadow Planes or Shadow Realm, the undead, and stuff like that. So Central Heart is... or Central Margrave is very... I'd say the Central is very nature based. It's very rooted. It's very fixed in its desires and things like that. If you compare it to a person, it's very middle aged.
So it's
established.
Distorted forest rather than corrupt forest.
Feywild Light.
Less fey, more nature. Lots of beasts, lots of monstrosities. A lot of the Aelcid, things like that, are probably more from the Central Heart than the Western. That's also why, like, on the detailed map, there's a lot of points in Central and Eastern. There's not a whole lot of points in Western. If you get to the Eastern Forest, or the Eastern Margrave, and on the map, it's a little misleading. There's Eastern Margrave in like the south central part, and then there's like Eastern Heart. Realistically, it's basically like, so if you draw a line and kind of go from like Cave of Sorrows, draw a line to Cradle Grave, and then draw a line down to like 5 wagon oaks. So I have a little arc there. That's pretty much the eastern Margrave. Why they put it way over there, I'm not entirely sure, but the whole Grandfather's Tears River is pretty much all eastern Margrave. There's a little bit that kind of goes into the central, but not much. Eastern Margrave is the youngest part of the forest. It's the most wild. It goes. It's very aggressive. It's very. Trees might uproot themselves and come after you. Tree ants kind of thing. Yeah, it's very wild and aggressive. Yeah, rebellious teenager forest. The Margrave itself is also kind of. It's not really like sentient, but it is a living, breathing kind of creature. It's very magical, very, very magical. You guys haven't noticed it too much because you've mostly stayed on like the Great Northern Road. You've gone over to Shadowcrag a little bit, but that's really about it. When you start to get into like the central and the eastern heart, you're going to notice, and again, Seven would know of this, Naren would know of this, Rockman would have researched a little bit of this or know about it from his research. Brahm might even know a little bit of it. Imagine, of all people, Brahm might have, if he was going to go to the Margrave, he'd probably go western. But the forest being something of a sentient magical entity actually tries to strip small pieces of magic. Whenever you cast a spell, it's gonna try to pull just like a sliver off of the magic. Not enough to really affect it mechanically. If you cast a healing spell, it's still gonna heal for whatever you roll for it. But if you cast like a level 1 Cure Wounds on a creature or on a party member, you'll notice like the grass around you might grow a little bit quicker. It's like spontaneously grow a couple inches, or flowers might bloom up a little bit. If you do something like a Revivify or a Wish to Raise Dead kind of thing, a whole tree might spontaneously grow up underneath of a person. That kind of thing. It's going to strip off small slivers of that magic. The higher the level of spell, not necessarily the bigger the sliver, but the more potent the sliver is, kind of thing.
Same percentage of the spells taken.
Right. Like 1% isn't really enough to notice it in there. 1% isn't enough to notice it in the end from one cast, but 1% of 100 versus 1% of 1,000,000.
Ooh, that reminds me of an old, ancient Chinese torture method.
Finger
Plant-
cuffs?
No, tie a man to a pole sitting on the ground after first planting a bamboo.
Oh, yeah, put the bamboo shoot underneath of him. Yeah. Because bamboo actually grows really fucking fast. At least in the beginning. Oh, now I remember an old samurai game that had, like, it was a fighting game, and there was one of the scenes that was in a bamboo forest. I'm going to have to go out and look that up afterwards, because I don't remember what it was. It was actually really fun.
So we're going to use specifically mundane means in order to smoke these bees out. No fireballs.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, too. Is like, so I said if you use, like, a Cure Wounds, the grass kind of grows up a little bit. If you use Produce Flame or a Fireball, the grass around you will actually kind of singe and might burn a little bit. If Rockman uses Shield, a quick shield cast to prevent a hit, the grass around you, like if you step on it, it'll be a little stiffer. Like you take your foot away from it, and the grass will actually immediately pop back up. You won't have any footprint have been left, kind of thing. It'll steal kind of like the essence of that spell. Like I said, it's just that 1%.
Rockman wants to create a fence of briars by firing off his new spell, the needle spell.
But to answer the original question, Travis, he would have been there just as much as anywhere else.
In the
I imagine
western
he
or the
would-
central?
Yes.
So he would have just kind of roamed the whole forest. Okay.
I imagine he would like get up in the sort of get home,
Mhm.
rest a bit, then basically do a 360 and walk in a direction until he finds something, and then bounce back.
Okay.
So, don't the Alsaid live in the western portion?
I don't know necessarily about Naren's tribe or clan, but
Because I know they didn't particularly like Seven. I imagine occasionally they would turn him up, send him back the way he came.
I imagine Seven going into the Eastern Heart once, and then getting mugged by a gang of hooligan trees and never going back again.
Seven has nothing to steal.
Hooligans
there's
don't care.
always something to steal.
I mean, unless you were going to take part in his body. Yeah, oh, maybe that's why he's twisted into a lizard.
You don't remember how we first described you, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's Seven has been meaning to ask Naren for a while, but he's not had an opportunity to just be alone and ask. Carrying on.
But carrying on. So, like I said, that's kind of a quick rollback to stuff, just to give you guys a heads up on what you will be potentially seeing. But yeah, so Serestra, we left off. Everybody's kind of wrapping up dinner. Would anything else be kind of brought up or said or anything like that during the meal, or shortly after, or anything like that?
I would like to know what this knighthood that we've been offered entails.
Oh, the honorary knighthood.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, as long as it's honorary.
Is that like an honorary doctorate? Doesn't really mean much, but feels good.
so honorary knighthood of the Summer Court, specifically of her court. Excuse me. It comes with free passage to the Summer Court itself, into and out of. It doesn't necessarily grant you free reign to like roam the castle kind of thing, but you can come and go more or less as you please.
The privilege of putting "Sir" on your gravestone.
That too. Obviously, in certain circles, it comes with respect. Sometimes respect can be seen as fear. It does give you kind of a shortcut, like if you need assistance or you need help or something like that. Hey, I need a favor. It gives you more or less a shortcut to the queen, to her aides, to the other knights, to the more powerful, like the full up knights, the bonded knights like Svalka. Let's see. On paper, you do get a ring of protection, standard +1 kind of thing. Those of you mechanically, you can't stack rings of protection, so you can only have one. Because I think they're attuned, aren't they?
I have one.
Mongo has one.
Yeah, but I mean, you can swap them out.
+2 bringer protection.
No, they don't stack.
Like tie them together. Will
No,
it make
it's-
one ring as +2?
Oh, you already have a +1? Here's a +2.
In hot.
No, you'll still get a ring of protection. Then you'll be able to pick. Do you want to wear like the Zobek ring of protection, which has no other stuff other than ring of protection, or do you want to wear like the Shadow Realm Ring of Protection, which still does all the normal shadow or not all the normal Ring of Protection stuff, but has a different crest on it.
It's the cold steel stuff as well.
Yeah, it gives you
Go ahead.
access to the smiths that are here. They do have essentially a full suite of crafters, smiths, tailors, leatherworkers, bowsmen, fletchers. Bowswain?
Bows. Use the net. Is the word.
Yeah.
Bowyers.
Bowyers, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And in case, it's almost one of those in case of emergencies, the ring itself does have
Word recall.
so remember Svalka made the portal that brought you here? He was using his knight's ring to do it. It brings him directly to that gate. It's not a comfortable ride. It is not comfortable at all.
Don't know what you're on about. We had no problem.
Mm.
I heard it was cold. I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah. Because it's more of an instant teleport than a standard portal. But it shows up as like a dimension door, so it's a little weird that way. But yeah.
What are the obligations?
Occasionally, Celestra may come and ask a favor of you.
I've already asked one.
She's had a request of you. She hasn't had a favor. Well, I guess yeah. She made the offer clear up front. Go rescue Layla. She'll give you an honorary knighthood.
So are we still at dinner, or have we finished dinner?
I kind of left it up to you guys. If you had anything further to ask of her, then yeah, you can do it at dinner. You can do it afterward. Yeah, like otherwise, she's gonna head out and let you know she needs to kind of prepare to make a specific gate with the directions that you guys are wanting.
So would it make sense for us to ask Svalka? Is Svalka at dinner?
He wouldn't necessarily be at the dinner itself. He'd be nearby, probably just outside the hall.
Because Rockmon would like to see if we could stock up on a few things. We kind of left the city without stocking up on much of anything.
Yeah.
So maybe some healing potions. And given Cerestra's advice on not being seen, he'd be really interested in seeing if he could find out how to get a scroll of invisibility or something along those lines where he could potentially add that to his spell book. I'm not sure what would have to be involved in doing that.
Okay. Interesting. Yes, Falco would be, like I said, he'd be nearby. Like more than likely, he'd probably be like a guard. Initially, he'd be like a guard, kind of inside the door, like while you guys are eating, not really allowed at the table because he's just a knight. Just a knight. But yeah, I imagine he'd probably be assigned more or less as like your go-between. Yeah, I had him on the GM layer, so he'd be like, boop. Oh wait, there we go. He'd more or less be as like your guide, your liaison kind of thing, like while you're here, because it's your first time here, and he brought you, so he's responsible.
By the way, are we getting like glares from him, or just neutral?
From
'Cause, you know,
Svalka?
we beat his butt.
No glares at all from Svalka. If anything, just the opposite. If you were to kind of ask him about it, he'd be like, he'd express gratitude to kind of let you know that he's like, yeah, man, I guess I've been in. I guess I was detained a little longer than I thought, or I was out of practice. I need to go back to the training ground. Thank you for letting me know before something bad happened, or before I was in an actual battle.
It wasn't fair odds for him, let's be honest.
Well,
6 versus 1.
Bro,
Yeah.
those lightning rooms were a pain in the ass.
yeah,
That-
he
and
was
didn't- and
allowed
he didn't
his
do a mass magic missile either.
that. Yeah, that takes time for him to be able to actually channel. He also only got like 3 rounds, or he only got like 3 turns. That's the thing you guys overlooked. Like, if this were like 1-on-1, any one of you would have been trounced. Even 2 or 3-on-1, you guys would have had problems. Even 6-on-1, you guys had a little bit of problem until you figured out what the Ravens were doing.
Yeah, they were a bit of a pain in the backside. But
Mm-hmm.
I do like the bit about him thanking us for letting him know he needs to sharpen up, because what would have happened if he'd been in an actual fight against real threats?
Yeah,
Like
and
little
that-
backhand right in there.
That's one of those things. Like, yeah, he if he'd have been in an actual battle and not like a training battle kind of thing,
he'd have been dead.
it'd be that backhanded compliment kind of thing. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, thanks for showing me I'm kind of weak. I need to sharpen up a little bit because I know I can kick your ass. Yeah.
Imagine what would have happened if 7 actually landed a hit.
Imagine if Slavka had gotten more than 2 or 3 turns.
Either toward the end of the dinner or like, or possibly just after,
Mhm.
Bristol would have a few questions about the hunt.
To who?
Sarastra.
Sarastra. Okay, go ahead.
You mentioned that the Lord of the Hunt has not always been one of your number. How many times has the title changed hands?
Over what time frame? Over your life? Or mine?
I suppose any.
How old is Ristel?
234?
What is the lifespan of the Windrunners?
It's basically wood elf age. Yeah, 234.
Yeah,
Well,
you're flat out
maybe
wood
they
elf.
reached
So.
maybe 300.
238, you said?
34.
34.
Because those 4 years make a difference.
They do. Over that time, I'd say.
What you got to remember is, in Time Lord, the Doctor is nearly 3,000 years old. Tennant was 4 years old.
Depends on
That's
which
4 years
Time
back.
Lord you're talking about, because he lies, and every Time Lord has said he is a different age. Even on the same
Yeah.
Time Lord, like his timelines have changed. His age has changed.
Yeah, that was like a rough estimate of him up to when he just gave up and started recounting, and then up to he's about 300.
Yeah.
Tennant counted 4.
So, Svalka would kind of look at Ristel and think for a second. You know what?
Oh, is he in this conversation too?
Or not sorry. Ristel. Who did I say?
Bristol is asking Sarastra. You said Svalka.
Oh, sorry. Sarastra would kind of look and think for a moment. What are you, 2.5 centuries?
Nearly so.
Lord of the Hunt has changed 15 times in that time frame.
Has the title only changed hands between Fae, or have mortals bested him.
Oh, mortals have held the title for a few times.
Mine were
Not
seconds, I believe.
typically very long, but they have done it.
So Ristel's just kind of looking at the table, just quietly nodding to himself. Does he ever lose interest?
In prey? No. Should he lose interest, that is a sign that he has been bested.
Should find out if a new Lord of the Hunt is obligated to hunt after the ones that the previous ones didn't get.
I suppose I'll just have to make sure that I can defend myself.
The very best of luck to you.
Well, according to you, I'm much luckier than most. And I'll kind of smile at that.
And she'll kind of return this almost like every time she smiles, it's that creepy, evil, like, Dr. Evil smile. Like, yeah, I know something you don't kind of thing. Indeed.
Ristel's
Good night.
smile will take on a little bit of a rictus in response.
Good night, sleep tight. I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Yeah, very much. Good night, sleep tight. Hope you don't die in your sleep.
Yeah, I think that'd be about all Ristel had.
Anybody else?
Seven's been playing with his glass of water this month, animating it with his cantrips.
You're kind of quiet there, Nate.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Seven would have been just animating the water just to keep himself busy more than anything.
Soaking his head.
No, because I don't imagine Sarastra provided buckets. So, like, there were glasses of water. he'd
Well, I
just
mean-
be, like, animating the contents and making them whip around.
Actually, she would have. She
You would
knows
provide a
of
bucket.
Seven's propensity for buckets in taverns. She really does know of your propensity for buckets in taverns.
It'd be like that guy in Airplane. I have a drinking problem. Splash.
Yeah, I actually kind of thought of after the fact, like after we were starting to go, I was like, oh yeah, this. Like, oh yeah, she would have brought a bucket. Yeah, it's almost one of those like where like if it kind of retconning it, like everybody else kind of sat down and they had like plates and silverwares and cups and bowls and all that stuff. Seven would have had like essentially an empty bucket, and then like as they came around for servings,
Gold-plated bucket.
not gold, not gold for sure.
It requires heat to make.
More of like an ebony bucket, but it's also one of those like when everybody kind of came around to do servings for food and drink and stuff like that, there would have been somebody that kind of came around to Seven and like filled his bucket for him.
Perrier.
Yeah, if need be, they would actually come around and kind of like change his. They would either like come around and change his bucket or add like. And they would offer to either change his bucket or add like Shadow Realm fertilizer.
Oh, that's kind of genius.
Would he have taken
I
the?
like that.
I'm curious now. Would he have taken the Shadow Realm fertilizer? I kind of want to know.
Well, the plants kind of grow out of him.
Mhm.
Like, I imagine, like, some of the vines are growing out of his feet, so he's just got
Right.
soil in the metal plating, then it grows up.
Yeah, but
So he wouldn't
still.
necessarily say no.
Okay. So he
It's
might
just
take
one of
like
those things
one
where
or
it
two.
happened.
He might take like one or two servings of like shadow fertilizer. Okay.
Shadow pig shit, yeah.
If you insist. Okay.
It's Show me what fertilizer is. It was whatever the thing that everyone is eating currently.
Yeah, it's a waste of everything we've eaten just now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wouldn't say no to a bit of compost.
Use every part of the buka.
Does anyone else have questions while we're at dinner? No? Nothing?
Nope.
Okay.
Decomposing organic matter is a good fertilizer. You could have put the Balak's head on top of your head.
That's kind of what I planned. I was going to wait till most of the flesh had rotted down, use the skull for something, and then use the flesh for fertilizer.
So,
Wear his face like a mask.
I was debating between
that's disturbing.
I was debating between making it a what's the called? A like crescent guard for his sword, or like something else.
If it's big enough to dunk your head in.
Use it as a bucket.
Yeah.
You made like a basket hilt out of his face.
That's the
You
one.
could punch somebody in the face with a face.
I'm gonna hit that motherfucker with this motherfucker.
So, Svalko would lead you out and kind of back to your rooms, and again, let you know. Sometimes the queen has trouble saying it, but I can tell she's very pleased that you're attempting the task that she offered you. Please stay in the lower court while you're here. Until you finish your task, you are not allowed in the Winter Palace without escort. Also, I've heard that you've learned firsthand, but I need not tell you, avoid the tree in the courtyard.
But I want more plagues. I want more constant. No, I'm joking. I don't want that. I want none of that.
I would also advise you, as I said, stay in the lower courts. You're not allowed in the Winter Palace at all. And occasionally dignitaries visit without our knowledge, or without my knowledge. The royal halls can be dangerous as well. Royal halls, out of game, royal halls are the southern side, Winter Palace is the northern side. Lower courts is dead in the center. So, central courts. So, there's a smith across the hall. If you have any questions, let me know.
So just quickly, two things. I'm wondering, when we left Sobek, I don't think we prepared ourselves quite as well as we might have. Would it be? Is there any opportunity here to pick up, say, some healing potions or anything along those lines? And one other thing is, the Queen mentioned that we should stay invisible if at all possible, or hidden. There's a spell of invisibility that unfortunately I do not have currently in my list of spells, but would it be possible to pick up either a copy of that spell here somewhere, or some way to get access to that spell? It sounds like it's something that we could certainly use in this quest.
Invisibility. I can certainly ask the wizards and such. It's not normally a problem for our kind.
Is
Of course,
this... carry on. Don't worry.
Oh, of course, if it's not something readily available, that's fine. I just thought I would ask. Thank you.
I will. I will certainly ask the mages. If you have a moment later, Sir Brockman, I would certainly enjoy talking to you. See how
Certainly.
the broods are doing outside.
Certainly, I would enjoy that.
Until later, then.
Before you go, Sir Svalka.
Hmm.
What are you? You look like my companion Rockman here, but you're very clearly not like him.
And so, have you ever seen like a dog smile? Like they get that kind of, it's almost creepy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get this kind of smile. He's gonna get this sly smile, kind of creeps over one side of his beak. Once, my people were Ravenfolk. Once, long ago. Now, and he's gonna think for a second. I think in your language it would be a storm crow.
Fitting.
I have lived in the Shadow Realm for decades, years, centuries. My kind have lived here for generations. Just as the elves have changed, and he'll motion towards like number 6, where you can still kind of hear clang, clang, clang. It sounds like there's only one working now.
Just as gift was with a number.
Just as these elves have changed, so have Ravenfolk. Of their kind, I don't know. I don't think I consider myself one of his kind anymore. I have more connection to you than I do to your friend here.
Well, thank you for the candid answer.
And he'll
Genuine curiosity.
And he'll give that kind of hand gesture, like the hand wave bow kind of thing. I pull a lot from my own life. Like, it's funny. I had a lot of people like in the Middle East that gave like this hand gesture bow. It's kind of cool.
Well, the sort of rolling your hand before.
Exactly. Yeah.
Basically, like almost hitting yourself in the stomach.
Yeah, that kind of salam alaikum bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'll
Yeah,
give
exactly
he'll give that kind of a bow. Yeah. And then he'll head out. Yeah. Unless there's anybody else that's gonna catch him before he leaves.
Guess real quick on his way out the door. By the way, I can kick your ass.
By the way, we won. You lost. Haha. You suck.
Was Rockman asking the question quite loudly in front of the group? The
About
invisibility spell question.
invisibility?
Yeah.
I don't think he was hiding it from anyone. He wasn't
Okay.
invisible about it.
Yeah, I almost imagine like this is almost like kind of conversation as you guys are coming down. Like after you've left the banquet and you're coming down to your rooms. So like everybody's out and about, or everybody's in the group. They're kind of hearing it. But yes, Falco will kind of head out, and he's gonna head out, kind of looking around, see if he can find anything. What's 30? I forgot. 30. Visiting Noble's Chamber. So that's not gonna be it. What's 6?
6 is the workshop.
Yeah, I know we've designated the workshop. Smithy. Okay. And 1, I think, is the main gate. 2 is the courtyard, Winter Gate. 2 is the dueling grounds and arcade. 3 is Silver Tree, ramp up, New Moon Hall. 5? New Moon Hall. Okay. 8, you guys have been to the Goblin Courts. I'm trying to think of which room would be in there. Let's see. 12. You know, of all things, I just realized 12 has no door into it. The guards hall
Secret.
here has no door. So it's the guard hall. The guards go in there, they never come out. They just have to
they
tear
get
the
in.
wall down and rebuild it every time.
They just
They just
Maybe
came
has it-
pre-installed.
Maybe it has a teleporting circle.
Yeah, that could work. We'll do that.
Throw
There,
them in from the tower.
yeah, something like that. There is a way in. We'll say it is.
As a test of their abilities, they have to climb into and out of the windows.
Except there's no windows. Yeah.
The hall is open to the air. Only the winged guards use it.
We'll say there is a door.
so the guards just have their own like mini teleport, the same way the rings work, except it just teleports
Here.
them through that wall.
Yeah, that actually worked really well. I like that.
Damn, that is very vibrant.
Well,
Very
yeah, it's because the floor is actually kind of like a white gray, and that is actually like a not white gray. There we go.
Oh, that took me a minute to realize what you're talking about. Like I didn't even notice that being different.
There you go. So,
Wink. There you go.
perfect.
Now there's a door. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now there's a door into room 12. I would say, yeah, eventually Svalka would kind of come back and he would let Rockman know. He's like, yeah, the room 12, the guards' quarters, or the guards hall. There are.
All those emaciated guards in there going, "Oh my God, there's a door!"
There's a door. Oh, I'm free! Oh, freedom!
This is the stampede.
There's several, like, what look to be raven folk kind of storming out of the room. Oh, we're free.
Well, we really set one hell of a chain of events in motion. Freeing one so that he can free the rest of his people.
Free him.
That's actually why, like, that's why you see so few raven folk around. It's because they're all kept in room 12. And just the ones that are magically powerful enough to get out are the only ones that are allowed to become Ravenfolk guards or Stormcrow guards. Yeah.
Well, that got dark.
Yeah.
The walls and ceilings
Real
are covered
quick.
for some reason.
Yeah. It's covering like this anti-magic film. It's kind of weird. Turns out Svalka is actually a cannibal. He only survived because he was the last one still alive.
There's a Hunger Games joke there, but I don't want to say it.
So yeah, you'd be able. There'd be individuals inside room 12, and they'd be acting more as like merchants. They'd be able to get a lot of the materials you need. There might be overall, if you kind of ask around inside the guards hall, there's probably going to be about 4 common healing potions total. They don't use them a whole lot. Actually, let me see. We'll just do this.
Beautiful.
I lied. There's only going to be 2. Wow, double crit 1. So you're going to find 2 common healing potions for sale inside the guards hall.
So Rockman only has 15 gold. So does anyone else want to pitch in to buy a couple of help buy a couple of healing potions?
And common are what, like 50 gold a piece, I think?
Yeah.
They're not
They were.
cheap. Believe me,
7
Larkin
was-
knows they are not cheap. Oh, sorry, Ledger. I forget he has a different name over here.
Yeah. And miss both. That's fine.
That's the wrong
Confused them both
book.
so much.
You're on an air mic, I can tell.
Hmm?
Mate.
No. No, it's just I'm not facing the microphone directly.
Ah.
There you go.
No, you still sound like shit.
Really?
Yeah. Your laptop mic,
Shouldn't be.
double check.
I would chip in for healing potions, but I blew all my money on that ring.
Brom's rich. Hey, Brom, can I borrow some money?
You can totally borrow some money. How much do you need? 35?
So,
Well, it depends if we're gonna buy two.
so fun
then I would
thing,
need
that
85.
orb you have,
Ooh.
Brom,
It's full of money.
that orb you have would cover everything you could possibly purchase here. Do you want to get it appraised?
I would like to get it appraised, certainly.
Hint, hint, hint.
the more you talk about how valuable it is, the less I want to sell it.
Who are you going to take it to?
I guess we'll start with the shopkeep, perhaps.
The shop. So like I mean, there's really no individual shopkeep. A lot of like in room 12, it's mostly like individuals kind of selling stuff, and you're kind of like asking, "Hey, Steve, do you got this?" If you go over to the smithy in room 6, they're gonna be smiths. So like I said, it really kind of depends on who you're going to.
I'll go to the smiths. They'll either have a better idea or know who I can talk to.
Okay, let me take a look here. I'm trying to remember which one I said that one was. So you're gonna take it over to room 6, right? To the
Yep.
the shadow smiths. They're
Yep.
they're gonna kind of take this and they're gonna turn it over, and they're gonna look at you. What do you want me to do with it? Are you selling it? Do you want me to craft it?
Do you know what it is?
It's a large diamond.
A large diamond, you say?
Woof.
It's encased, but it is a fairly large diamond.
Are you in the market for something like this?
Are you looking to sell or to craft?
Well, what are my options if I were to craft?
The amount of material in this, armor or weapon?
Ooh, I'm not really in need of anything right now.
Well, if you're just looking to sell it, I can give you 2,500 right now.
I want to roll an insight check
Okay.
to make sure that I'm getting a good deal here.
By all
I'm-
means.
I'm not great at this one.
Okay.
I'm pretty good.
Not great, but good enough.
Double 19. What the hell was that? It was with back-to-back doubles. Okay. Double 19s. So, you get the impression he is offering you about half of what is face value word. Like if the roles were reversed, you'd be paying double.
Now, I can tell from the way you've appraised this so far that there's clearly some appreciable value. So if at all possible, could you do maybe a bit better? And I'm gonna roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
Hope that it's as
Give me a
good as the last
persuasion.
one.
15.
Getting the trade-in value.
You're talking to the male or the female? I think the male.
I think you were responding as the male.
Yeah.
And only one of them was working right now. So
Right. Yeah, that's right. It was the male. So I say the male because it's an easier voice for me to do. Sharing kind of a gender there. I give you half that. Yeah. No, it doesn't work very well.
I'll give you twice that.
I'll give
Can
you
you do that?
something.
Would. Does that mean I would accept it? No. No, it does not. But yeah, is this better? Did this fix the microphone?
Much, yes. Immensely.
Yeah, for some reason, it decided that my blue snowball doesn't exist.
It
And
happens.
started using my webcam, which is on the other side of the room.
That would be why. Yeah. It's actually been like that. I guess you would readjust it or something like that, but it sounded different. So,
If it ever does that, just let me know.
yeah. 1 second. Oh, there we go. A deep-seated, beer burp. It was sitting there and it hurt. He's gonna kind of look at you. If you like, I can cut 500 off of it. Look, you brought it to me.
Well, I suppose I don't know of any other buyers at the moment. 2,500 seems like a reasonable price.
Out of character, I just want to remind you this place is full of fae. That is all.
That's true.
Not just Fae. Shadow Fae. Everywhere around you is dim or dark light.
And magic-y.
Yes. Like, with that, 7 is able to see, but it's like
Barely.
if you had a nightlight everywhere. That's kind of like what 7 is seeing. It's like there's that dim light everywhere. He can still see out 60 feet, but it's only dim light. Everybody else can see out 60 feet, and you see fine because it's all dim light. 7, not so much. So that means everything around you is dim light.
I'm just saying you can do better than this GameStop ass Smithy.
Well, the voices in my head are telling me otherwise. So I guess we're not going to sell this diamond right now. We're gonna keep it around.
Okay.
Thank you for the offer. I appreciate it.
And he'll hand it back. There you go. Yeah. Remember how big I said that diamond was? Or how big that orb was?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Size of a beach ball.
No, I thought it was like 2 fists.
Yeah, it was about that size. I was trying to think of an object that was around the size of that, but I couldn't really think of anything. Smaller than a
Cantaloupe.
soccer ball.
Yeah.
Cantaloupe.
So, yeah, smaller than a soccer ball, a little bit bigger than handballs. Handballs are kind of tiny.
A large softball.
Yeah, like an oversized softball.
So, cantaloupe.
Yeah, cantaloupe. I thought you were saying handball for some reason. I don't know.
There's
So yeah, it's about like a
lots
cantaloupe
of
or a
sports equipment
muskmelon.
being spoken here. Too much sport.
Fruit, muskmelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. They're all about the same size.
Honeydew.
They're all about the same size. They're kind of like that miniature watermelon, but usually kind of a yellow or orange.
About the size of your average cat when it decides it's going to curl up in a ball and just lie wherever you want to sit.
Yeah, not too far off actually. Yeah, your average city cat, not country cat, because country cats are fat. But yeah, it's smaller. But a diamond that size, even if it's coated so it's nice and smooth on the surface and everything like that, like I said, he said this diamond seems to be, it's coated in something. So until you were to like try to break it apart and find out, okay, how big is this diamond really, kind of thing. He was offering
Well-
you like merchant value 5,000. So merchant value selling it's half that.
Since I now know how how loaded I am, if Rockmon wants to get both potions, I will cover the extra cost.
Did Braum ever sell those gems, or did he give them back?
The pouch of
No, I
gems,
still
he
have
did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at what all Braum has.
He has wealth, it's just not
Braum
enough
has
gold.
more money than any of you combined. Just in gems.
Not including the orb.
You're welcome.
I can't tell you if that is or is not.
I mean, Ristle's definitely not contributing to this equation right now.
He's like, Ristle's like, I'll take the orb. Let me hold on to that for you.
Hang on,
I'll take
shall
the
we-
orb by force.
Let's go make a return trip to Shadowcrag.
Hmm.
If you're
Let's
saying
go
he
find
has
the
more
one I
money than
busted up.
Rockmon, that's not much.
Bristol's all about stimulating the economy.
Again, that's how much this guy was offering. So,
Yeah, fuck this guy and his $2 game trade-ins. Let's go somewhere else.
So Rockmon's going to borrow 85 gold from Braum and use 15 of his own gold to buy the 2 potions.
okay. So you got the 2 potions. Anything else you guys were looking for specifically, or just kind of like stocking up in general, or? I imagine rations. Sarastra would kind of bequeath the group. You guys are covered on rations.
If by rations you mean alcohol, then yes.
Whatever you consider your standard adventurer's kit, 10 rations.
All I know is Naren's not stupid enough to try and steal from the queen.
Mm.
You know what? Ristle would inquire as to the alcohol situation and what he can walk away with.
As far as rations purchased or snag?
He would, if he had to buy it, he would. He wouldn't just like help himself with a 5-finger discount. He would approach it as, look, we're comrades in arms. Is there any booze that I can take? But if he was told it's only for purchase, then yeah, he would inquire about the price.
I mean, you'd find the occasional individual with like the celebratory drink. But if you're looking for an entire bottle, that you would probably have to purchase off of somebody. Purchase
See, I
or
always
steal off of
pictured-
somebody.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a visit over to the guards hall.
Nate, you were saying something?
I always pictured the alcohol of the Underdark to be vodka because you can just basically dig up for the potatoes to do it. What would be the net drink of the Shadow Realm?
Here's the awesome thing about vodka.
Potatoes, that's a long dig.
You can make it out of fucking anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's all mushroom based in the Underdark.
Yeah, pretty much.
vodka's vodka.
Yeah, vodka you can make vodka out of just about. I think it has to be a root vegetable, or like a root, but
I think so.
Pretty much.
you can make vodka just about out of any root. Tequila is made out of like cactuses and only specific cacti.
Agave.
Yes. The best ones have come out of blue agave. Specific species. There would be something akin. I mean, depends on your potency. Are you looking for something like a hard liquor or more like an ale? Or a hard liquor or like an ale. Are you looking for a 1 or a 2? Or a
Yes.
special?
He's
Probably-
he's looking for tax fire breathing stuff.
Probably
Soul
the
Spoon.
2. That's the hard stuff, if I recall correctly.
Right. Yeah. The
Yeah,
one
he's
serving
generally
of the
goes
2
in for, like-
serving. Yeah.
Yeah, he generally goes in for like whiskeys.
Okay.
Everclear.
Oh shit, yeah, Uzo.
Oh, that stuff is good.
Let me think here.
I prefer soju.
If you ever get the chance, try Zifania.
Mhm.
That shit burns, but it's good.
I like sake over soju.
Really?
But- Yeah, I do. But
tried
sake has to be
sake.
hot. Sake has to be
you
hot
like
to enjoy
hot
it.
sake.
Yes. Well, not like hot, but at least at minimum warm, like
Warm.
above warm.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
Oh, now that I've thought about Zifania, I want to go back to Cyprus. It's the name Zifania translates literally to fire water in
Nice.
Greek. Stick a bottle of that in the freezer. That's your night gone.
An author I know is just finished his travel through Greece looking at ancient military sites. He said he
Huh.
had an ancient drink. He said it was, don't remember what the name of it was. He said it was wine with pine flavoring.
I've heard of something like that, or I've tasted something like that. It has kind of a pine flavoring. I don't remember what it is, but
He said it was disgusting. He did it.
if
he
you're
did it
not
for
expecting it, you're not
authenticity, though.
used to it. Yeah, it's kind of gross.
You also didn't like Uzo.
Oh,
Well, Uzo can be an acquired taste. Like straight Uzo is a little rough. Yeah.
there's not a lot you can really mix it with.
Gotta
Fruit
like
juice, I guess,
licorice.
would be alright.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like that's why I hate. What is it? There's an American liqueur. Jaeger. I hate Jaeger.
You said American liquor.
Well, I mean, it's huge in
That's
America
German.
because it is German. I know. Shut up. It's because of like Jaeger bombs in America that I consider like American liqueur, even though it's not American. I know. I hate Jaeger bombs because I don't like black licorice. I can eat the licorice candy. I don't like the drink.
Red Bull's horseshit anyway.
Yeah.
Just drink the fucking Jaeger.
Or just drink the Jaeger, or just drink the Red Bull. I mean, why do you have to mix them? Fuck that.
You don't. Just drink the frickin' Jaeger. Don't bother with the Red Bull.
If I'm gonna mix them, I'm typically gonna do like a car bomb and just be done with it. Yeah, whatever.
Jaeger and Coke isn't too bad actually.
I still don't like Jaeger.
Or Jaeger and Pepsi.
Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
ooh.
That little bit of spice that mellows out the licorice, the anise flavor of the Jaeger.
I know what I'm
That's the
doing
only
next
time I can
weekend.
drink Jaeger.
Anyway,
But back to Ristle.
What
Now
beer?
that we've gotten off to all of our alcoholic kicks, yeah. You were looking for like a level 2. Yeah, like I said, because there's level 2, or there's level 1, there's level 2, and then there's special, which is kind of other. Could be 2, could be, well, typically special is like 3 plus. Take 1, it could, if you were to like take like the Midgard equivalent of like Skull Splitter, that's probably gonna be like a 5.
Yeah, Rista will take what he can get. He's gonna start off looking for what he's more familiar with.
You're not gonna find a whole lot of anything familiar. If you're hitting the guards hall, they're mostly gonna drink more like Shadow Realm liquors. You might find one or two individual. You'll probably find like two individuals that have like a specialty brew. If you're looking for familiarity,
When I say familiar, I don't mean like specific drinks. I'm thinking like in the course of conversation, he'd try to figure out, okay, I drink whiskey. What do you have that's like whiskey? Or like ouzo. What do you have that's like ouzo? Things like that.
So yeah, you said you're solidly looking for a level 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So a level 2, you'll be able to find. Opened, you'll be able to find plenty of them open. Probably 5 or 10 of them. In this hall, there's probably about 20 guys. Or 20 Shadow Crow.
Free them.
There's a door. Shut up. You'll be able to find probably about 20 Shadow Crow. And that's what like everybody who goes in there are finding. It's about 20 of them. Of those, it seems like everybody has all but like 1 or 2 have their own kind of like personal little supplies. There's like 1 or 2 that are kind of like no, I don't drink. No, thank you, kind of thing. 1 or 2 teetotalers. So out of like the 18, you'll find 2 or 3 that have the hey man, hey try this moonshine I have kind of thing. If you're looking specifically for level 2, you'll find actually probably about half of them have some kind of supply of various levels of like the Shadow Realm equivalent of like a whiskey or something like your level 2 kind of drink. Let's see. I doubt my name generator has something for drinks, but I'll check anyway. Boop. Oh shit, it does. There's the generator for drink names. Okay.
What does Elrond taste like?
Kind of salty. I mean,
Bit old.
yeah. Kind of
Plus it's
elven.
best. Yeah.
Sorry. So one of them's gonna kind of pull out this bottle. You'll find that they're all gonna kind of have like this variation of level 2 drinks. Let me find one.
That I like.
Let me find one that I like the name of it, and that'll become canon.
Need to find a drink named Cannon. Take shots.
No, cannon's a specialty drink. That's like a level 4.
Cannon would be the name for the goldfish bowls.
That too. There we go.
What do you want? I want a cannonball.
There's gonna be a few guys that all have the same kind of drink. It's called Innocent Gloom.
I have my doubts that that is a pleasant drink to have.
Oh, it's not.
Those individuals have my attention.
Yeah. So
Designed for one thing and one thing only.
yeah, that's right up there with like. If I don't know how much everybody here has drank like whiskey or like harder liquors. There's like your top shelf whiskey and such, like your scotches and your well, I guess your Irish whiskeys, your scotches, your to a lesser degree your Jack Daniels. I don't like Jack Daniels. And then there's like your bottom shelf stuff. Innocent Gloom is going to be like that bottom shelf stuff. it's gonna be this. It's still a level 2 drink, and it's whiskey-ish, kind of. It matches the color. I'll give it that.
It is brown.
Yes, it is. It is a brown liquor.
This is like battery acid.
Well, yeah, like you take a sniff of it, and it smells. It smells strong. It's not like overpowering. Like, oh God, I'm not gonna drink that. That's gonna give me a fucking rot gut kind of smell. And every now and then you find somebody that's kind of like every now and then he'll just take like a shot of this, and he'll kind of hang out. You'll be able to get like if you kind of ask around, somebody will give you a shot of this.
Yeah, Bristol will take it if offered.
Okay, give me a Constitution.
Oh.
6. Okay. This is going to hit your stomach like a brick. It's going to burn. So, Nick, I don't know how much you drank hard liquors and things like that in your past. Have you ever... Do you remember the first time you ever took a shot of, like, whiskey or, like, those super, like, old man drinks? Like, it just makes your face pucker?
Yeah.
That's what this is going to do. It's going to be... You're going to take the shot, and instantly, as soon as it hits your tongue, like, Ristel's face is going to go... and scrunch up, and it's going to look like he's, like, 600 years old. Yeah. You can get that old, bitter man face.
Like
and then it's going to hit your stomach like a fucking brick, just... Oh. And then instantly, you're going to feel it kind of spread out. And you'll feel this warmth kind of like spread from your belly. And just like that first time you drink something, you're like, oh, yeah. It's going to be like horrible, horrible taste, but it's going to be, oh, it's going to feel so good. It's going to feel great, but it's going to be horrible taste the whole way.
Probably won't be able to taste anything else for hours.
Well, not necessarily for hours, but at least a good 20, 30 minutes. It's going to dominate your taste buds.
Who needs them, really?
Ristel's imagining that this tastes like what being around one of those giant shadow fuckers is like for longer than like 5 seconds.
Tastes like burnt plastic.
And kind of like, as you take that first shot, the guy's going to give you kind of like that stomach slap. Good stuff, huh?
I imagine it'll get the job done.
Oh, yeah, it will. I don't know why this guy has the hint of a Scottish accent, but he does.
Stormcrow of the Highland Stormcrows.
Yes. For all of you Scottish out there, I apologize.
That,
I apologize for the
honestly
Stormcrows.
That sounds like a cool sports team, the Highland Stormcrows.
That actually does, yeah. Of
I'm happy to watch them
any
at,
sports
like, the CS
team,
pages.
of any sports team, Stormcrows sounds like actually a pretty cool sports name.
Yeah, but it would
Yeah,
be
fuck
like
the
taking-
Ravens.
Is that an actual sports team?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
Really? I'm a nerd. I don't do sports.
Same.
Yeah.
Ristel would kind of just like squint at the shot glass for a few seconds, and then kind of nod to himself. I might be back for some more. And if he has literally any other option, he will not.
That seems to be the bulk of what everybody has. Is this like almost? It's not quite rot gut. It's like there's like your bottom shelf, like whatever your state logo is, vodka, And then there's like the national cheap stuff right above it. This is like the national cheap stuff.
Oh,
What do you expect out of a bunch of guards?
Pretty much,
Well,
yeah.
something more than nail polish.
When he said he might be back, he's headed out on his way to the kitchens to see if they've got anything better.
Have you ever tasted like rice or cooking wine?
Yes, they
It is-
sent it.
It is wine in the barest sense of the name.
I mean, I figured they might
it's
also
got
keep,
alcohol
like,
in
the shelf full of alcohol there as well.
Yeah.
See, most cooking wines are heavily salted to stop the chefs from drinking it.
Yeah.
Sterno.
Yeah, I'm not looking for any like cooking wine. I'm looking to see if maybe they also keep the wine cellar in the kitchens as well.
Ah, okay. So you're looking for the wine cellars.
Yeah, that and just like wherever they would keep the alcohol they would serve
Yeah.
to anybody but the common guardsmen.
Yeah. Also, Nate, in the U.S., a lot of times, like if you go to the common grocery store, a lot of cooking wines are actually non-alcoholic.
Garbage.
Really?
Garbage.
Yeah, they are actually non-alcoholic since alcohol cooks off in the cooking process anyway, most of the time.
Yeah, but they say don't cook with the wine you won't drink.
Yeah.
Cooking wines usually taste nasty.
Yes, like if you go to the store and you buy a cooking wine, it tastes like ass because A, there's no alcohol actually in it, and B, it's extremely salty. It's kind of gross.
America, how did you fuck up wine?
If
How
it
did
There's
you
a
fuck
thing
that up?
called prohibition.
if it makes you feel better, they still card for ID for cooking wine. I know because I went and I bought some cooking wine for a recipe I had, and I was carded for age. Well, this says wine in the name. It's cooking wine. It's non-alcoholic. But it says what? Oh, fine. Here's my ID.
America, how did you fuck this up? How?
Puritanism.
And prohibition.
Yeah.
No, mostly Puritanism.
Well, there are still a ton of dry counties in the South because of like
Oh, yeah.
prohibition and the movements behind it.
Yeah.
Like my county only stopped being dry like
Religious
15 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It just baffles the mind. Fair play. You dumped a load of tea into the ocean. Fair play, you don't have good tea. But
Well, we did that because of
Wine.
taxes. Because you were taxing us for stuff I don't think we really wanted anyway, so we just
nah.
dumped it in the ocean. So
Also because tea's garbage, but taxes.
yeah,
Oh,
mostly,
so you
but mostly because of
understand.
taxes. We don't have rolling brownouts because the soap opera ended for the day. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't have that either.
You
Our power
do.
companies are smart and adjust for it.
You do. But our power companies don't have to adjust for it. That's the difference.
Now, I'm sure there's something equally as stupid like how you guys have fucked up wine. It's wine. Every country has good wine. How have you done this?
We
Oh,
do. It's called California.
We have good, yeah, there's
Yeah.
good. Hey, not just California, okay? The
Well,
Adirondack
they're the
makes
ones that
good
started
wine,
it,
too.
so.
Anyways.
Oh yeah, no, there are grapevines in Cali. Yeah, okay, I
Mhm.
remember.
There's a winery like less than 10 miles from my house.
There's one 20, 30 miles from my place. Yeah. I don't know if it's any good. I had one of my customers that I went after and I fixed his system for him, and he gave me like 2 bottles. It tasted like grape jelly.
Oh,
Like if you know like that water at the top of the grape jelly after it's set in your fridge for like 2 days?
Ooh.
It tasted like that.
Hmm.
I don't know that it
Talk
was
about this
good.
California,
I mean-
the Shadow Realm.
And he's heading there.
Yes.
It
'Cause he
got
can't
me.
quite make it to the Italy.
It got me a
France.
buzz. My dog loved it. But my
Anyway,
dog
back to
licks
the
his own
game.
ass. So, yeah.
This kitchen is vaguely shaped like California if you turned it around.
What was that, 7?
Yes.
That's what I
What?
thought. Funny figuring. Yeah. So if you go into the kitchen, yeah, they would have like your kind of cooking wines and your things like that. There would be a wine cellar, like CEL, not SEL.
It's the same word everywhere.
There'd be a wine basement, not a wine person.
Yeah, the door is right under the tree.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
there'd
do
be.
they only store wine here, or is it like all of the drinks?
Is he going to be opening the hatch to roll a barrel up the bloody ramp?
It kind of depends. Again, so you're looking for like a level 2, right?
Sure.
Let me check, because I imagine the two upper uh the two upper palaces, which each have, yeah, they do. They have their own kitchens.
Oh,
48 and 21 as well.
my
So
chances aren't looking good.
so where you're at, number 7 is the lower halls. So it's they'll have like if you were to go to like Walmart or something like that, they'd have more like the top shelf stuff here. You'd have like your higher shelf whiskeys, your wines, things like that here. If you're looking like for your legitimate, like there's top shelf at like Walmart, and then there's top shelf at like the liquor store or like custom order. Is going to be like inside the winter and the Winter Palace and the Royal Halls.
Yeah. I'll settle for like the Sam Adams equivalent of a number 2.
I hate Sam Adams. I mean, I like Sam Adams, but they fuck up so much stuff. I like some of Sam Adams.
Yeah. It's like Sam Adams is technically a craft brew. It's the biggest one, but it's still technically a craft brew, and therefore it's probably going to be better than your average Miller Coors Budweiser bullshit.
So if I piss in a bottle and I give it to you, it's better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right below that big tree in the corner. Yeah, like I said, if you're going into room 7, the lower hall is kitchen, they would have a wine cellar. It's going to have more like your top shelf liquors, your top Walmart shelf liquors. Whiskeys, you're looking more like your Jameson, things like that. Your international whiskeys, your international scotches.
I had no frame of reference for like actual liquor in Walmart because that shit does not exist in North Carolina.
All right. I'm trying to think now. When was the last time I bought whiskey? I know Jameson right off the top, but I think that's an Irish whiskey. Yeah, I'm trying to think of scotches. No, Jameson's a scotch. isn't it?
Glenfiddich.
Yeah, Glenfiddich. You're looking more like your 18, your younger scotches, like your 18-year scotches.
That'll do.
It's not necessarily the best flavor in the world. It kind of burns. It's not horrible. It's tolerable. Yeah, but I mean, the cooks are gonna kind of stop you from just like walking in there.
Yeah, Bristol will explain. I'm about to leave on a mission for the Queen. I was looking to provision, and if you're willing to part with some stores, a couple of those bottles will do nicely.
Give me persuasion.
All right. Double digits.
10. So you have a 10. Remember, you always look at the total, not at the roll.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a 10.
Can I get them drunk and share a little bit of my own supply so I have advantage on the roll?
I mean,
How
Depends on
many hours
the-
you want to spend doing?
yeah, I mean, how much sleep do you want to get?
I only need 4 hours for a long rest, so I do have time.
Because these are elves as well, so they don't need a whole lot of sleep either. But these are also shadow elves, so there's that. Let me check here. Because I don't have a sheet made up for fucking random shadow elf cook. Not something
imagine
I
they have horrible
expected.
Constitution.
Yes, that's exactly what they have horrible of.
5.
Actually, I think I might have them actually made up now that I look at it. Let me look. I made up a whole bunch of Shadowfae a couple weeks back, just in case.
How remarkably forward-thinking of you.
Well, you guys got here and it's like, well, they're in the Shadowfae. I better make all the Shadowfae. Just in case they fuck up and piss everybody off.
It's not too late.
This is true. Persuasion. Okay. Insight is what? Intelligence?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Shit.
They're not gonna bite.
What are those?
They will give you one bottle and essentially tell you get the fuck out. More or less because at this point you're being a nuisance to them and they're just trying to get on their way. They're trying to cook meals and they're trying to do all the prep work for like breakfast and things like that for the different meals. So it's like, here, fine. And they shove one bottle in your arms and they tell you get out.
We lost Nate, by the way.
I can accept that. Oh.
That we lost Nate. Okay. Got it.
That was unfortunately timed. But I will take that bottle as a victory.
All right. I wore them down with my tenacity.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna, like I said, they'll kind of shove that one bottle in your arms. Look, man, just, we're working here. Here, go away.
The Queen appreciates your contribution to this mission.
Yeah. And there's like one guy like pushing you back out the door.
As they're saying, get rid of him with that bottle that nobody else will drink.
So like I said, everybody got your bare essentials supplied or restocked. Anything else? Crickets? Crickets?
Guess not.
I do need to restock on crickets.
You know what? I bet they'd make a great snack. So
They-
that might actually be a good idea.
Actually, they do. Yeah, they're a pretty good snack. You just have to tear the back legs off first.
If I had enough, like, insect meat, would I be able to satisfy myself?
It'd be pretty
As a-
tough. I mean, you'd have to be basically munching all day.
Like
30
trail
pounds,
mix.
30 pounds of insects.
Yeah.
That's only if I don't eat for 24 hours. Otherwise,
Right.
it's just like a meal.
Yeah, otherwise you're looking like a normal meal. But even then, like,
That's still a lot of insects.
it's still a lot of. It's considering insects weigh like fractions of an ounce. Yeah, and you could do it. It's possible.
You
It's
fulfill your
hard.
nutritional requirements because you live with yourself afterward.
I could. I mean,
Yeah, insects aren't the worst thing. Maybe if they were weird, shadowy, fey insects, I might have to reconsider.
Basket of lawn grubs.
By the way, shadow crickets are dog-sized.
Oh no.
like
Chihuahua
Pekingese.
sized.
They're not like big dogs. They're like tiny dogs. They're small dogs. Like Pekingese. The little fluff balls that people call dogs. No, those are just balls of.
Pomeranians?
Yeah. Those are just balls of fur with legs.
Yeah, Pomeranian.
Yeah. Alright. Well, let's take a quick break while Nate tries to figure out how to get back online so that way we don't happen to lose anything by mistake.
He remembers how to internet.
Yeah, pretty much. It's 9 after, so we'll go till 20 after. This will be the first time ever I think we've taken 2 breaks in a row, but it'll mostly be so we can wrap everything up. Because we'll see.
Well,
I mean, if you guys roll really bad, or you, depending on how you choose, you might get into combat where we leave. I don't know. We'll see.
Yay!
But we'll give Nate about 10 minutes to get back online. So 20 after. Okay? All right, so it looks like we had Nate. Too many ends. Unfortunately, Nate was unable to continue the stream. He had internet problems. Shit happens. Oh well. We're gonna end tonight, and actually end on the world map. We're gonna end on the world map. Ristel was looking for, or Ristel was actually looking for, essentially extra liquor, extra booze. Sarastra was already offering, hey, go ahead, rest for the night, stock up, whatever. We will get you near. Excuse me. We'll get you near the Margrave. We'll do the best we can. Please go do this work. We'll make you Shadow Realm honorary knights of the Winter Court. And yeah. So they were kind of stocking up. They got their basic provisions. Ristel started looking for harder liquor. I actually have kind of custom rules for drinking. I had like a level 1, a level 2, and a special. Level 1 is more like your beers, your ales, your things like that. Level 2 is going to be like your whiskeys, your vodkas, your hard liquors. And level 3 is your specialty brews, like your moonshines. If you listen to Dungeons and Randomness, which I strongly encourage, it's going to be more like your Skull Splitter, your stuff like that. But yeah, so listen to that podcast, listen to those other podcasts, listen to those other shows. Please do. They're a great inspiration. We will be back next week, and we will find out what exactly happens. Where do they land? How do things go? I don't know. Find out. Bye.